Hi and welcome along to AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date with players that have been linked with a January transfer move to Arsenal. Now, the Mesut Ozil saga continues right now, and it's all over the press and media again today. Now, this is a huge week, I think, for Arsenal Football Club. We've got a massive game this coming Saturday against Chelsea. And following the results of the weekend, I mean, it was a disastrous weekend for Arsenal all round. I mean, a very, very poor performance, which was really highlighted because it was the first game of the weekend against West Ham, where it was clear to see for everybody that there's problems at the moment at Arsenal. No Mesut Ozil on the pitch, and a team that just looked, for the first time in a long time, when you see an Arsenal team play and there was no creativity. We're a team that normally creates lots and lots of chances. In that game, I think, 2 shots on target? And compounded by the fact that later on that day, Chelsea, more as expected to do so, they beat Newcastle. So they went 6 points clear of Arsenal. And then yesterday, Manchester United beating Tottenham Hotspur. I've got mixed emotions on it because now Manchester United are breathing down our neck. They're on the same amount of points as us. A team that, like a few weeks ago, were miles behind us. And I said at the time that I was very fearful as soon as Mourinho lost his job. I was very fearful that they could catch us up, and they've done it now. They've caught us up. So 4th place for Arsenal now is really, really in, I mean, if you looked at it honestly, took your Arsenal hat off, you'd have to say that we're not favourites at all to finish in that top 4. As I said, 6 points off Chelsea. Manchester United on the same amount of points as us. They're on a high. They've got better players than us. Let's be real. And it looking again like another 6th place finish. It's really not looking good. And if what you want in this month is the manager to be given funds to freshen up and strengthen the team, he's not being given that. He's been told that all he can do is take players on loans. And then on top of that, there's the big problem with Mesut Ozil. Now, as I said, it's all over the press today. And Unai Emery had a statement after the game about the Mesut Ozil situation. And he said the players who were here were the ones who deserved to be at this match. Sometimes he's helping us. He's on about Mesut Ozil. At other moments, not helping us because of injury or because maybe the match is not for him. Now, again, basically saying that, our top earning player at the club, our player that we should be looking at as, if you're the top earning player at the club, you should be our go-to player. Top earning players are normally your best players. At Chelsea, they look to Hazard to make things happen. At City, they're looking to, before he got injured, but they were looking to De Bruyne and players like that. Juventus are looking to Ronaldo, but you look for your big player, your highest earning player to be your main man. And whereas at our club at City at the moment, it looks like the manager does not trust Mesut Ozil at all, would rather get him out of the club because he doesn't think he puts the amount of work in. As I said on yesterday's show, very similar to the situation what Guardiola had when he first came to Man City with Yaya Toure. We had a sort of talismanic player where the manager didn't fancy him, didn't think he worked hard enough, and basically drove him out of the club. It's a similar thing here. It looks like Unai Emery is trying to drive Mesut Ozil out of the club. There's a lot of newspapers saying today that Unai Emery wants him to be sold this month, wants to get rid of Mesut Ozil so he can get the funds in to go and invest in players that he wants. Ever Banega is one of those players that he sees as a player that would be a much better, fit for his style of football than what Mesut Ozil is. However, the problem is, as we all know, is that Mesut Ozil does not want to go anywhere. He's on a big wage. He's doing all right. And there's no other club out there at the moment making any noises that they want Mesut Ozil. There's no big club across Europe saying, you know what, we'll take Mesut Ozil. How much do you want for him? We'll take him. There's no club saying that. So we're really in a situation where we're stuck at the moment with Mesut Ozil. And I think if the manager's stuck with Mesut Ozil, he has to try and see what he can do and get the best out of him. And will Mesut Ozil play this week against Chelsea? I mean, you know, for me, again, that's a critical thing, is that if Ozil doesn't play in this game against Chelsea this week, then we know that basically Unai Emery wants him out of the club. It's nothing to do with tactical. He just wants him gone. So it's a massive week. It's a massive week. And as I said, all the press this week, today, just going with that story, you know, Unai Emery wants to sell Mesut Ozil, but are there any buyers? That's the thing. Are there any buyers out there at the moment? Apart from, say, you know, your Chinas and places like that, and then a player's got to want to go to China. As a matter of fact, he's going to have to want to go anywhere that's being proposed. And even if it's a loan deal, who's going to pay £350,000 a week to Mesut Ozil right now? Especially he's not even playing. So it's not even like you've got a player that's playing and he's doing it, and the team looks at it and says, wow, yeah, we could bring in Mesut Ozil. He could do a great job for us. Who's going to want to pay that money right now? You know? So it's huge. This is huge. And, you know, it's just, at the moment, there's too much negativity around Arsenal. And I think, as I keep saying, a lot of it's been created by the ownership of the club with this self-sustaining model that simply does not work. An owner who doesn't put any money in. Mike Ashley, who's always criticised by Newcastle fans and football fans around the country, and they have a go at him, has put money into Newcastle. Stan Kroenke, in the time he's been at Arsenal, has put nothing in. And in the time he's been at Arsenal, we've won no league titles, not one. Leicester won the league. You know what though? Leicester, their owner, you know, God rest his soul, he put in over £200 million of his own money into Leicester Football Club. And as I said, our owner has put in nothing. He's now put together this team and he's brought in the new manager, and he's basically saying, we're continuing with this model. I'm still going to put nothing in. You got to get us back into the top four. You need to win us the league. Well, how are you supposed to do that? It's impossible. In modern day football, it's impossible. As I said, the Leicester owner, you're going to throw Leicester at me. The Leicester owner put in £208 million of his own money into Leicester. It's impossible not to put any money in right now and expect to win the league. It's difficult enough, again, bordering on not possible again, to get into the top four with that. And you're probably going to throw Tottenham at me. But you know what? Tottenham have got a load of, Tottenham have got better players than us right now. If you look at it, they've got a better squad than us, right? I know the fact that they're on limited wages and they've got problems stored up for them ahead because of the new stadium. But the one difference with Tottenham is because they've been managed at the highest level, a lot better than Arsenal, I've got to admit that as well, is that they've got assets. So they could sell Harry Kane, right, for 300 million, 200 million, and get that income into the club. They can sell Christian Eriksen, who's linked with a move away. You know, the other day, their owner of the club was quoting over 200 million is what he'd want for Christian Eriksen. He probably wouldn't get that, but he might get like about 150 million, like what Liverpool got for Coutinho. They've got assets. They could sell Dele Alli for over 100 million. What can we sell? We've got Aaron Ramsey, who's our equivalent to, say, a Dele Alli, right? You know, he's, as regards to the ability and stuff like that, probably better, right? Or just as good, going for nothing. How can we have a self-sustainable model? Even when I hear a lot of people saying, well, in the summer, lots of money is going to be coming in. The Adidas deal, we'll be able to get players off the wage bill. Yes, we will. But is that still going to give us the amount of money to enable us to bring in the quality of players that is required to win the league or even get into the top four? If you look at Manchester United yesterday, Martial, Pogba, Rashford, They've got Lukaku who they can bring off the bench. They've got Mata on the bench. They've got Alexis Sanchez, right? Right throughout that team, the amount of investment that has gone into getting top quality players. Are we going to be able to go out and get that level of player with relying on taking money off of Adidas deals and things like that? Honestly, the self-sustainable model is not working, and the owner needs to help the manager out here. You know, he needs to help the manager out, and I just don't see any help for him right now. You know, he's been told January loans only, borrow players. And the player we're trying to borrow, of course, and I speak about it every day, is Denis Suarez, and it's still today all about Denis Suarez. Lots of speculation that this could be the week that it happens, but Barcelona are still holding out. They're still saying, listen, we're only willing to do this as, you know, a permanent deal. Or if it is a loan deal, permanent deal has to be agreed in the summer. So we need to have that option written into it. And that's the impasse at the moment. That's what they're trying to thrash out. And we might get a clearer view on what's happening on that this week. Of course, we're on the 14th of January, so we're about halfway through this transfer window, nearly. Yannick Carrasco as well. Again, I told you yesterday about the rumours. His wife confirming that there's lots of clubs looking at him in the Premier League. Manchester United and Arsenal, she was asked about. She's saying as well, other clubs across Europe, she said as well to the Belgian media. Looking at him, he wants to come to Europe. He would be perfect for Arsenal, but if there's going to be a fee involved, again, are we going to do that? Would that be a thing that we'd have to try and do it via loans? Maybe saying to the club over there in China, money up front first, a loan up front first, then with money in the summer. That's if the club from China goes for it. Why would you go for something like that if then other clubs come and say, well, we'll give you the money now? And of course, another person we've been linked with heavily is Hector Herrera. Now, you never know. This is one that could get done. Again, I'm not sure if it would be January, but he's a good player, the Mexican, plays for Porto. Rumours still swirling around about this one. He's available on a free in the summer, so he'd be very cheap to get now. Or we could get him in the summer, and a lot of people talking about him as a possible replacement for Aaron Ramsey. He's a different type of player to Ramsey, though. Ramsey's more forward-thinking, more box-to-box. Hector Herrera's deeper player to me, and we've already got that in Torreira, we've already got that in Guendouzi. These guys are all deep-lying sort of midfielders. Do we need another one in Hector Herrera? But again, he's been linked with Arsenal today. So let's see what happens this week. Big week, huge week for Arsenal. This team really does need to get somebody in. The team needs refreshing, really does need refreshing. Thanks for watching the show, and we'll be back tomorrow.